Hey Aries, welcome to your weekly reading. If this is your first time here, my name is Laura and I'm from babycurltarot.com. Keep in mind this message is for any Aries placement you want to check in on, including but not limited to your sun, moon, rising placements. Maybe you want to check in on the astrological house that is in Aries. Whatever it is, you are welcome here. All right, we're going to go ahead and get into it, but please keep in mind, Aries, if you do happen to see this message after the third week of August 2022, it's okay. It just means you were meant to hear the message at a later time. All right, spiritual team, what is the overall energy for the next 7 days for my Aries people? What is the overall energy for the next 7 days for my Aries people? Okay, what is the overall energy for the next 7 days for my Aries people? Okay, we have the onion, protection. Love it. At the bottom of the deck, we have the cauliflower, transition. Okay, we have a little transitioning period happening. Spirit is definitely watching out for you as you go through this, whatever this transitional phase in your life is. Let's get into the tarot and take a look at what it is you need to know. Spiritual team, what messages do you have for my Aries people for the next 7 days? What messages do you have for my Aries people for the next 7 days? What messages do you have for my Aries people for the next 7 days? Let's take a look. All right, Six of Cups reversed, King of Wands reversed, the Empress, the Three of Wands, and at the bottom of the deck, the Six of Swords. All right. Let's take a look at the bottom of this deck and see what we have going on back here. So Six of Swords, Four of Cups reversed, the Sun in reverse, and the Queen of Swords. Very interesting. Okay. I am seeing you walking away from something or someone that was not making you very happy, or you didn't feel like this was really the place that you were supposed to be at. Okay. For a lot of you, this could also be a feeling of depression that you are starting to move away from, and you are starting to open yourself up to new opportunities coming your way. I love that. Okay. For a lot of you, this is also Spirit saying that they are protecting you from someone that has hidden motives. Maybe it is a Queen of Swords type energy. Maybe it's an air sign. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, doesn't have to be, also doesn't have to be a woman. Okay, but this is someone who seeks the truth. And honestly, I feel more that the Queen of Swords is someone in your spiritual team. So this could be a spirit guide, this could be an ancestor that watches out for you. And they can see through people's BS. And they're kind of protecting you from, you know, things that you can't see that could ultimately affect what it is that you're trying to achieve and move forward with, and make sure that you're making the right decisions for you. Oh, I love that. Hello. Thank you, spiritual team, for that. All right, let's take a look at these cards right here. So what I absolutely love about the Empress and the Three of Wands being here is that the Empress to me represents everything that is abundance, the ability to create, and not only create, but attract what it is that we want. This is a very fertile, divine, feminine energy. The Empress holds everything within her and can give and nurture just as much as she can accept and take into her. Absolutely beautiful energy. I do feel like this is representing your abundance, your creativity, so many beautiful things that you have in front of you. And with the Three of Wands being here as well, it just feels like all you're doing is looking towards the future and walking forward with this incredible glow. I do also, when I first started reading tarot, I used to call the Empress the bad bitch card. You don't have to be a woman. You don't have to identify as a bitch. I'm just saying it's a term. She's a bad bitch, like in all the best ways. So it feels like you're kind of taking on more of that energy. Where the transition is for me is kind of between the King of Wands in reverse and the Empress. It's like you're transitioning from this phase of your life almost of being of lacking focus, of lacking vision, of lacking self-control in terms of how you manage yourself, manage others, or as a leadership type of role, maybe you had a little bit of a harder time letting go of control. Okay, it feels like you're transitioning more out of that, and you're learning to be more accepting and willing to accept things and attract things to you versus always being on the more assertive side. You just walk. What I'm seeing in my head is someone walking with the purpose and the knowledge, knowing that they are not only fully enough, but they don't always have to be the initiator to get what they want. It just comes to them. And I think that came up in one of your last readings, I'm not sure, but just being able to attract happiness, and just allowing things to come to you without always being the aggressor, or not the aggressor, but the asserter, and the one who is chasing, is kind of a beautiful thing to see my Aries experience, because I feel like my Aries are very much go-getters. And if you're not, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with you. That's just a general thing that I have come to understand about Aries. They're not the type of people to take the back seats. They're going to be the ones that are leaders, taking charge, getting shit done. They're definitely not the type to sit on their ass on the couch and wait for things to come to them. So to have this Empress energy here for you guys, it's very much an unfamiliar feeling in some aspects, I think. But in a way, it's a really beautiful aspect to learn about yourself and to have that balance of both the asserter and the attractor, okay? It's a very, very complicated thing to try and explain, so I hope that came across well. And again, it really just comes down with this Six of Cups in reverse, that stagnation and continuing to live in the past energy, which is why I'm getting this is more of what you're walking away from and leaving behind. And this is more of what you're walking towards. Past energy, looking towards the future. I mean, it's very clear for me right there, just in these two cards and in the way that they are positioned, being reversed and upright, is very telling of what it is that you are in the middle of transitioning from. It's like your past and your future are starting to finally separate. They're no longer merged. You're becoming a whole new person. And as you are going through this transition, it may be a little painful while you're in the midst of it. But once you finally are able to let go of this past energy, you can kind of walk into your future feeling a little bit lighter, a little less burdened, a lot more free. I hope that makes sense, Aries. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and move on to the Oracle deck section of your reading. Now, keep in mind, Aries, whatever messages come from this deck could be related to what we've been talking about so far, could be completely unrelated. It's just additional things you need to know for the next 7 days. All right, spiritual team. Oh, excuse me. Spiritual team, what additional messages do you have for my Aries people? Excuse me. Let's do the other half. Spiritual team, what additional messages do you have for my Aries people for the next 7 days? Okay, let's take a look. We have the crib, birth or conception of a child or enterprise. Look at that. This is the birth of your future, whether this is a birth of a company, an entrepreneurship, a new direction in your life. Could literally mean that you're pregnant as well. Okay, some of my Aries could be getting pregnant. I'm not wishing that on anybody who doesn't want it, but I mean, that's potential too, because the Empress does represent motherhood, the divine feminine, literal childbearing. So if you are someone who, I don't know, has been wanting to get pregnant, I mean, that's very possible here. And then with this card confirming it, I'd say it's very possible. But I feel like for the majority of you, this is the birth of a new Aries. This is the birth of the new you. This is the birth of your future success in finding this new you. Does that make sense? We also have the grasshopper, situations in the balance that require careful handling. There you go. Okay. That walking away and moving forward, okay? Making sure that you're really listening to your intuition and not taking opportunities or energies that are, you know, not for your greatest and highest good. And sometimes that having that extra bit of protection from, you know, our friends on the other side can really make a huge difference. And I definitely feel like you have that. I think you have people watching out for you, both in the physical world and in the spiritual world, that are helping to guide you into the person that you're becoming and into opportunities that fit that future person, not the past person. Does that make sense? All right, let's take a look at the bottom of each of these piles. So here we have the Vulture, depression, anxiety, worry that someone is against you. Oh no. Okay, some of you could be dealing with that. Very interesting. I did say that this transition period would be kind of difficult for some of you, especially because it feels like you're pulling apart two very distinct parts of yourselves and leaving something behind. So for some of you, yeah, it could be kind of emotional. It could bring up some triggering thoughts, ideas, feelings in you guys. Just obviously be very, very careful about where you place those emotions and how you work through them, because you don't want to, you know, potentially ruin something that's beautiful or being set up for you for the future. At the bottom of this half, we have the Tent, a temporary situation. I think this transition period is definitely temporary. At least that's what I'm getting through these messages, Aries. That's all I have for you guys. I think this is a really great message. Please let me know down below in the comments if this resonated for you. Leave a like, and don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more videos like this in the future. If you want to see more content from me, I am on Instagram, TikTok. I have a blog. All the info on where to find me is down below in the description box, along with my website if you want to schedule a personal reading with me. As always though, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.